Hello, intuitive Scorpio. An important financial truth is beginning to rise into the light, and someone close to you may soon be revealed in a situation involving money and trust. This video is more than a passing message. It feels like a moment your spirit was meant to encounter. You did not arrive here randomly. Something has been trying to get your attention for a long time, and now the deeper meaning behind the tension you've been sensing is becoming clearer. June 25th and 26th, 2026 are not simply dates on a calendar. They mark a quiet turning point, a doorway between what has remained hidden and what is finally ready to be understood. On the other side of that doorway is a truth that can change the way you view your finances, your relationships, and the strength you carry within yourself. What has been moving beneath the surface is preparing to reveal itself. Let me ask you something honestly, Scorpio. Have you noticed that subtle feeling that appears around a certain person, even when everything seems fine on the surface? Have you felt moments when silence says more than words, or sensed that something important has not been fully disclosed? If those feelings sound familiar, then this message is not only relevant to you, it carries real significance. This space is dedicated to reflection, transformation, and deeper awareness. It is a place where timing, intuition, and insight come together to illuminate truths that often remain hidden behind appearances. I believe God does not always speak through dramatic events. Sometimes the message arrives through the quiet unease of a heart that already knows something is shifting. And when that awareness arrives, it is not meant to harm you. It is meant to prepare you. What is unfolding for you, Scorpio, is not only clarity but opportunity. Even if a betrayal leaves a mark, it also creates room for something healthier to enter your life. The space that opens afterward is not limited to money alone. It can reach into your peace of mind, your personal boundaries, your energy, and your sense of self-worth. You were never meant to make yourself smaller so that others could remain comfortable. You are being called to grow into a stronger and more authentic version of yourself. Take a moment and ask yourself something important. Is there someone in your life who seems present only when they need something from you? Is there someone who subtly diminishes your excitement, changes the atmosphere when you celebrate, or leaves you questioning your own instincts? That is not genuine support. It is influence disguised as connection, and during these final days of June, that disguise may begin to fall away. If you are still here, Scorpio, then part of you already recognizes this. You may have noticed unusual signs, recurring dreams, strange coincidences, or feelings that keep returning no matter how often you push them aside. Let this video serve as confirmation. Take a breath, center yourself, and type 626 in the comments as a symbol of your intention to trust what your intuition has been trying to show you. Let it become a quiet promise to choose truth over illusion. Let it reflect the part of you that is ready to receive clarity with an open heart. And before we continue, thank you for being here. Every like, comment, share, and subscription strengthens this community and helps these messages reach the people who need them most. Your presence matters more than you realize. The energy you bring helps create a place for insight, healing, and meaningful transformation. And believe me, Scorpio, you will want to stay with this message because what is beginning to surface carries far more meaning than it first appears. So tell me honestly, what drew you here today? What part of your spirit recognized that this message was meant for you? Because as we step into this together, something important is ready to be seen. There is something deeply meaningful about celestial timing, especially when Venus and Pluto move into tension the way they are now. As June 25 and 26, 2026 unfold, these days feel less like ordinary dates and more like a quiet threshold where deeper truths begin to rise. Venus governs love, values, and financial matters, while Pluto rules what remains hidden beneath the surface. When their energies meet, the purpose is not punishment, but awakening. This is not gentle, drifting energy. It is the kind of truth that stirs what has been buried, ignored, or quietly working beneath the surface of your life. What has been concealed for too long begins to emerge into view, yet truth does not arrive to tear your life apart. It arrives to set you free. If you have felt uneasy around someone recently, if your body becomes tense when they speak, or if you keep sensing that something remains unsaid, Pay attention to that feeling. Your intuition is trying to guide you. The appearance of the Seven of Swords reinforces that message. There may be something hidden involving money, motives, or loyalty that has not yet been fully revealed. Perhaps you dismissed those feelings, explained them away, or convinced yourself that you were imagining things. Even so, your deeper instincts continue to speak. This card carries both a message and a caution. The universe may begin with whispers, but eventually the truth seeks its way into the open. In the original symbolism of the Tower, sudden revelations can arrive when hidden situations can no longer remain concealed. Under this energy, what has been building beneath the surface gradually reaches a point where clarity becomes unavoidable. An unexpected realization, a conversation, or a revealing action may change the way you understand a personal situation. While that moment can feel unsettling, it serves a greater purpose. What falls away is not falling away to harm you. It is creating space for something more solid to take root. Sometimes we invest trust, loyalty, or time into structures that appear strong but rest on unstable ground. When those foundations are exposed, they can finally be rebuilt on something real. And once the illusion dissolves, a new possibility begins to emerge. The Ace of Pentacles speaks of a fresh opportunity, particularly in the material world. A financial opening, a practical blessing, or a new beginning may only become possible because the hidden obstacle has finally been removed. The opportunity was already there, waiting for room to grow. The universe works through clarity. It rarely places lasting abundance into situations that are already fractured beneath the surface. That is why this energy can be a gift. It reveals what is no longer supporting you so that you can stop investing your energy where it cannot truly flourish. I want to remind you of something important, Scorpio. When something breaks apart, it does not automatically mean you failed. Very often, it means you have evolved beyond it. Life continues to offer opportunities to rebuild, this time with greater awareness, stronger boundaries, and deeper respect for your own truth. You are not here to shrink yourself for someone else's comfort. You are here to stand fully in what you know. When you do, your inner world begins to change, and your outer circumstances often follow. New possibilities appear, meaningful opportunities arrive, and people who genuinely align with your path begin to enter your life. This is how grace sometimes works. It is not always a gentle breeze moving through open fields. At times it resembles a tide that clears away what no longer belongs. You do not need to rush toward rebuilding, but you do need to allow yourself to release what has run its course. If fear is present, allow yourself compassion. Courage is not the absence of uncertainty, it is the decision to move forward with clarity, even when answers are still unfolding. Sometimes the greatest act of trust is releasing what feels familiar, so that what truly belongs can find its way to you. As you move through these final days of June, remember that what is leaving was never meant to remain forever. What is coming into view carries meaning. Beyond the truth that is surfacing may be an opportunity you could never have recognized, while everything remained hidden. Keep your heart open, stay grounded, and trust that the space being created is making room for what genuinely belongs in your future. What is unfolding now is not happening for drama's sake. It is unfolding with purpose and precision. Betrayal rarely arrives wearing the face of a stranger. More often, it comes through familiarity, through someone who has stood close enough to learn your patterns and remain just convincing enough to stay within your circle. That is why this moment can feel so confusing. You were not expecting conflict. You were offering trust. And that difference is exactly why this moment of clarity matters so much. Pay attention to the way your body has been responding lately, not the explanations your mind creates or the stories you tell yourself to keep everything comfortable. Notice the quieter signals you may have been brushing aside, the uncertainty that appears only around one specific person, or the strange feeling that their compliments never seem to land the way genuine support should. You may also recognize a subtle tension whenever conversations turn toward success, finances, or future plans. These experiences are not random, they are information, and they have been trying to reach you long before the truth began making its way to the surface. Your deeper awareness often recognizes what your conscious mind has not fully accepted yet. For someone like you, Scorpio, honesty has always mattered more than appearances, even if you sometimes keep your observations to yourself. You naturally sense what exists beneath the surface, and that gift has guided you through many chapters of life. Yet this moment asks something important of you. Any sense of peace that requires you to ignore your instincts comes at a far greater cost than it first appears. The signs of betrayal rarely arrive in obvious ways. More often, they emerge through small distortions that are easy to overlook in the beginning. It may be someone who introduces doubt precisely when your confidence is growing, someone who withdraws when support is needed and returns only when it benefits them, or someone whose encouragement subtly steers you away from growth and back toward familiarity. Over time, these moments begin to wear away trust. Not only trust in another person, but trust in your own perception. That is why this revelation serves an important purpose. It is not here to make you harder or more guarded. It is here to reconnect you with the clarity that has always existed within you. This is not a story about blame. It is a story about alignment. As your life expands and your priorities evolve, not everyone who felt comfortable with the older version of you will naturally fit into the life you are building now. Some people benefited from your predictability, your accommodation, or the limitations you once accepted. Growth changes relationships. Financial matters often expose truths that remained hidden when circumstances were simpler. When values begin to move in different directions, tension reveals realities that words alone could never fully explain. What is being asked of you now is not force, but quiet strength. You do not need conflict for the sake of proving a point. You do not need to convince anyone of what you feel. You do not need permission to honor what your intuition already understands. Your task is both simpler and more powerful than that. Trust what you know, stop excusing patterns that continually leave you uneasy, and choose clarity even when it challenges what feels familiar. Many people wonder why truth sometimes arrives through discomfort. Yet there are moments when exposure becomes one of life's greatest forms of protection. When something hidden finally comes into the light, confusion begins to dissolve. The exhausting cycle of questioning yourself starts to lose its grip. From that place, you reclaim your authority, and once you stop negotiating away your needs in silence, genuine abundance has room to grow. Real prosperity thrives where honesty, self-respect, and clear boundaries exist together. That is why this stage of the journey matters so deeply. This is also a powerful time for a quiet declaration, not something performed for others, but something spoken for yourself. Writing down or repeating words that affirm your boundaries can help your mind, body, and spirit reconnect with a stronger sense of self-respect. Choosing truth, clarity, and courage is not an act of rejection. It is an act of returning to yourself. As your inner relationship with yourself changes, your outer circumstances begin to respond. Opportunities become easier to recognize. Financial choices feel less confusing and more aligned. You stop pouring energy into places that were never designed to support your growth. What is coming into view now is not meant to punish you. It is helping safeguard the future you are creating. The more grounded and clear your response becomes, the more personal power you recover. Releasing what has quietly been working against you does not leave you with less, it leaves you with space. And within that space, something stronger, healthier, and far more sustainable can begin to grow. Sometimes the most meaningful breakthrough arrives quietly in the moment you realize that what you have been holding on to no longer belongs in the future you are moving toward. Financial opportunities do not always arrive looking like obvious invitations. Sometimes they appear through an ending, a shift, or a situation that initially feels disappointing. A contract may come to a close. An idea you once set aside may suddenly reappear through someone else, or an offer may arrive carrying details that leave you feeling uneasy. When moments like these occur, they are often bringing clarity rather than coincidence. And clarity, even when it feels inconvenient, asks an important question. Is this truly aligned with the person you are becoming? As June 25 and 26 unfold, there is a sense of reflection around what has completed its purpose and what no longer belongs in your future. Financial growth is about more than opportunity alone. It is also about integrity, alignment, and the foundation beneath what you are building. If a relationship, partnership, or business situation has been sustained through imbalance, secrecy, or manipulation, life tends to redirect rather than reinforce it. This is not because the universe is withholding something from you. It is because you are being guided towards something more authentic, something that reflects who you are now, rather than who you once had to be in order to survive. The financial themes surfacing during this period are not random. The tension you may be feeling is not necessarily resistance. In many cases, it is recalibration. That discomfort may be showing you where you have remained loyal to patterns that no longer support your growth. Before agreeing to something new, signing documents, or returning to an old opportunity, give yourself permission to pause. Take a breath and ask what is really being offered. Is this situation arriving with honesty, transparency, and healthy intentions, or is it appearing at the exact moment it could distract you from the healing and growth you have already worked so hard to achieve? This is where discernment becomes one of your greatest strengths, Scorpio. Something attractive is not automatically something aligned. If an opportunity demands your peace, your self-respect, or your sense of inner stability, it may not be the right time. Sometimes the strongest decision is allowing yourself to wait before saying yes. There is also a simple but meaningful practice that can help you release what no longer belongs to you. Write down every financial fear, belief, or burden you have been carrying, especially the ones that may have originated from someone else's experiences rather than your own. Perhaps you learn that money is unreliable, or perhaps you absorb the belief that abundance always comes with sacrifice or betrayal. Whatever those beliefs may be, place them on paper honestly and without judgment. When you feel ready, safely burn that page with intention. Allow the smoke to symbolize release, because what you consciously let go of loses its power to hold on to you. The act itself becomes a signal that you are making space for something healthier. On an energetic level, this process supports a shift in perspective. It communicates that you are no longer willing to accept half-truths disguised as progress. It reflects a commitment to building slowly, wisely, and in a way that honors your values. Real prosperity does not require you to abandon your alignment. You are not meant to pursue abundance through fear or constant pressure. You attract stronger opportunities when your choices reflect truth, and truth asks something from you in return. It asks for patience, courage, and the willingness to decline what only partially fits so that something fully aligned has room to arrive. Treat these next 3 days with intention. Avoid commitments that feel rushed, unclear, or emotionally confusing. Step back from conversations that make it harder to hear your own inner voice. Allow clarity rather than urgency to guide your relationship with money and opportunity. When the right opportunity arrives, and it will, it often carries a different feeling. You will not find yourself trapped in endless doubt. Instead, there is usually a quiet certainty that settles within you. It speaks through your body, through your instincts, and through the calm realization that this path feels safe to trust. Many of the most reliable signals do not come through logic alone. They emerge through physical awareness and subtle intuition. A racing heartbeat, a sudden chill during a conversation, or a tight feeling in your chest when an offer seems too perfect can all carry valuable information. These reactions are not signs of weakness or overthinking. They are often messages from the deeper wisdom within you, the part that senses truth long before words are able to explain it. In moments like the one you are moving through now, those signals deserve your attention. They are not meant to be brushed aside or explained away. The energy surrounding these final days of June is encouraging you to slow down and listen, not only with your mind, but with your entire being. Even if you do not yet have every answer, something deeper within you is already responding. You may struggle to explain exactly what feels different, yet your body recognizes it. Your spirit recognizes it as well. When that inner awareness begins to rise, it is not trying to create fear or uncertainty. It is guiding you away from situations, choices, or connections that no longer support your truth. In self-healing and intuitive work, there is a simple understanding that intuition grows stronger when it is respected. The more often you honor it, the more clearly it speaks. When you repeatedly dismiss those inner signals, you slowly teach yourself to doubt your own wisdom. Right now, Scorpio, your intuition feels heightened for a reason. What is preparing to come into view may never be directly confessed by the person involved. Instead, the message may arrive through your instincts, your emotions, your breathing, or the quiet reactions of your nervous system. Long before facts appear, your deeper awareness often begins gathering information. That process is already unfolding. Over the years, I have spoken with many people who ignored these early signs. One story that has stayed with me involved a woman named Elle who reached out after experiencing a vivid dream. In the dream, golden rain was falling into her hands, yet every drop that touched her skin was quietly taken away by a shadow standing behind her. She woke up unsettled and unsure how to interpret what she had seen. 2 days later, she discovered that a trusted friend and business partner had secretly transferred shared assets into a private account without her knowledge. Looking back, the dream felt less like imagination and more like a warning she had been given before the truth became visible. Sometimes guidance arrives through dreams, images, sensations, or feelings that bypass logic and speak directly to the soul. Not every meaningful message arrives through obvious signs. There is real strength in trusting what your instincts are trying to tell you. Something does not have to make perfect sense immediately to carry truth. Likewise, familiarity should never be mistaken for safety. Some people learn exactly how to present themselves in ways that lower your defenses. They understand your language, your patterns, and your vulnerabilities well enough to move past boundaries that would stop others. That is why discernment matters so much right now. The encouraging part is that you already possess everything you need to move through this period with clarity. Take a moment and ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you sensed something was wrong but chose to remain silent? When did you feel overlooked, emotionally depleted, or disconnected, yet continued showing up as if nothing had changed? This reflection is not meant to create guilt or regret. It is an invitation to recognize your ability to choose differently moving forward. This time, you are being asked to act from what you know rather than what you hope will happen. There is a meaningful difference between those two places. Even Scripture reminds us that what is hidden cannot remain hidden forever. Eventually, what exists in shadow finds its way into the light. Although that process may feel uncomfortable at first, it often marks the beginning of healing rather than the beginning of loss. When the truth becomes visible, confusion loses its power. You are no longer left guessing or questioning yourself endlessly. You gain the ability to make decisions from a place of awareness and alignment. That is why these moments matter so much. Trust the pause that asks you to look closer. Trust the feeling that briefly moves through your body when something does not feel right. Trust the message that arrives through stillness rather than noise. Your intuition is not trying to frighten you. It is helping you avoid repeating patterns that you have already outgrown. There is something valuable waiting in the moment. You choose to listen and respond to that inner knowing. Through that choice, you begin reclaiming both your direction and your personal authority. Every awakening eventually reaches a point where understanding must become action. Insight alone can only take you so far. At some stage, what you know must be expressed through real choices, grounded decisions, and practical steps so that your mind, your energy, and your future begin moving together in alignment. That is the invitation being placed before you now. Because recognizing the truth is one thing, choosing to live as though you trust that truth is something entirely different. And Scorpio, you are moving through a period where small, intentional choices can quietly influence the direction of what comes next. During these final days of June, meaningful change does not require dramatic action. Often, it begins with simple practices that help you reconnect with yourself. One of the most powerful places to start is with water. In astrology and energy work, Water is more than a symbol of cleansing. It is often viewed as a carrier of intention, capable of holding focus and meaning. When you wake tomorrow, try a simple ritual. Pour yourself a glass of fresh water. Hold it gently between your hands. Close your eyes and speak with sincerity. Scorpio, infuse this water with truth, peace, and the power of my divine abundance. Then drink it with awareness. Let it feel like a quiet agreement between you and the reality you are choosing to create. Allow each sip to remind you that you are ready to release deception, confusion, and emotional weight while welcoming greater clarity into your life. As you move through the day, protect your peace as carefully as you would protect something valuable. You may feel tempted to explain yourself, defend your boundaries, or engage with unnecessary noise. Remember that true strength is not always found in reaction. Very often, it is found in observation. Silence is not weakness. In many situations, it is wisdom. When you pause instead of immediately responding, the truth has room to reveal itself more clearly. Give yourself permission to step away from conversations that drain your energy or pull you away from your center. Your energy is valuable, and not every conflict deserves your participation. Later in the day, set aside time to write for yourself. Approach the exercise honestly and without judgment. Ask yourself who consistently leaves you feeling uncertain, diminished, or disconnected from your worth. Consider who remains close to you even though part of you already senses the connection has changed. This reflection is not about assigning blame. It is about creating freedom. Sometimes people hold on to relationships long after they have stopped nourishing them because solitude feels uncomfortable. Yet chosen solitude is not the same thing as loneliness. It can become a space where healing, clarity, and realignment take place. In that stillness, it becomes easier to hear yourself again. And from that place, healthier choices naturally begin to emerge. Another powerful form of release involves your physical environment. Start with something simple. Open your wallet and remove old receipts, expired cards, or papers that represent confusion, stagnation, or an outdated version of yourself. What appears to be cleaning is also symbolic. It communicates that you are creating room for greater financial clarity and healthier opportunities. It reflects a willingness to welcome prosperity built on honesty rather than secrecy. Small actions often carry deeper meaning than they first appear. Finally, pay attention to the energy you allow into your digital space. If someone's presence consistently triggers comparison, self-doubt, or inner criticism, consider creating distance. Mute them, unfollow them. You are not required to absorb influences that leave you feeling smaller than you are. The more you surround yourself with voices, images, and messages that support your growth, the easier it becomes to realign with your own path. These choices may seem minor at first. The water, the silence, the writing, the cleaning, and the boundaries all appear simple on the surface. Yet when they are practiced with intention, they create meaningful change. In energy work, even a small ripple can carry surprising power. It is often through these subtle shifts that new opportunities begin to emerge. Lasting transformation rarely arrives because of one dramatic moment. More often, it grows through consistent acts of self-respect and awareness. You do not have to rebuild your entire life overnight. You only need to begin treating yourself as someone worthy of the future you desire. Because you always have been. And now your life is beginning to create space for that truth to become more visible. Scorpio, as this message begins to draw toward its final reflection, take a moment to notice what has moved within you. Pay attention not only to what you heard, but also to what you felt. This message was never intended to create fear or overwhelm. It was meant to remind you something important. You are not here to carry imbalances in silence, to constantly accommodate others, or to sacrifice your truth for temporary comfort. You are here to live in alignment with what is real, and sometimes that alignment asks for a decision that feels uncomfortable before it begins to feel liberating. If these final days of June bring an unexpected realization, understand what it truly represents. It is not chaos entering your life. It is clarity arriving where uncertainty once lived. Life is not removing something to punish you. It is creating distance between you and what no longer belongs on the path ahead, so you can stand more fully in your own power. You are Scorpio. You naturally seek what is real beneath appearances, what is honest beneath assumptions, and what is meaningful beneath habit. As June 25 and 26 unfold, you may feel called to participate more consciously in your own transformation. This is not a moment for standing on the sidelines of your life. Ask yourself something honestly. What might change if you stopped making yourself smaller to preserve someone else's comfort? What possibilities could emerge if you trusted yourself enough to release what quietly drains your energy? What kind of abundance might have room to enter your life if you stop negotiating with situations that repeatedly make you question your worth? These are not distant philosophical ideas, they are invitations. The way you respond through action, not just reflection, will influence what comes next. Every insight you've been guided toward in this video is meant to be practical and lived, not simply admired from a distance. Awareness creates choice. Choice creates movement. And movement has the power to change the direction of your reality. You do not need to rush, prove yourself, or fight for every answer. What matters most is remaining honest, grounded, and present with what is unfolding. When you do that, life often begins rearranging itself in ways that feel surprisingly natural. Opportunities become easier to recognize. People reveal their intentions without requiring you to force the truth into the open. Situations that once felt confusing begin to make more sense. I want to gently encourage you to anchor this energy now rather than later. If something in this message resonated with you, if you felt a quiet certainty, an emotional response, or a deeper awareness rising within you, honor that feeling. Give it a voice. Leave a comment below and write it in your own words, or simply say, I choose truth. I open the door to abundance. I release what makes me smaller. When you express an intention, even through a small action, you help transform awareness into alignment. And before you continue on with your day, I want to sincerely thank you for being here. Thank you for your openness, your presence, and your willingness to look inward. Every like, every comment, and every subscription reflects a choice to keep growing, to remain aware, and to move forward with intention. Your participation helps sustain this shared space where reflection can lead to meaningful change. If this video supported you, consider liking it, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who may benefit from hearing this message as well. Stay connected, because what unfolds next is not random. It responds to the choices, awareness, and energy you bring into your life. And Scorpio, remember this above everything else. Destiny is not something that simply arrives while you wait. It is something you activate through the decisions you make every day. You are the observer, the witness, and the one who ultimately chooses the direction of your life. And true alignment begins the moment you choose yourself.